Is the release of 3 North Korea detainees. And this does set the stage for President Trump and Kim Jong Un's high-stakes summit. The two world leaders expected to come face-to-face in early June.
Going to be fascinating. Rich Edson live from the State Department with what's on the agenda for that historic meeting.
Hey, good morning, Jerry and Cheryl. And Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says he spent about 13 hours on the ground in Pyongyang, 90 minutes of that meeting with Kim Jong Un. Much of that, of course, was to discuss and secure the release of those 3 American prisoners. But a lot of it also had to do with planning the details of this meeting between President Trump and Kim Jong Un that it's expected to be upcoming in the early part of next month. Just a few hours ago, President Trump mentioned that much of this meeting is set.
We have a meeting scheduled in a very short period of time. You'll be hearing about it soon. We have the location set, and we will see if we can do something that people did not think was going to happen for many, many years.
The president says in the next couple of days he's going to unveil the specific date and the specific venue for this. A senior administration official says Secretary Pompeo's mission on this was to try to secure not only the city and the country, but also the exact venue for this discussion. The first meeting that the Secretary of State had with Kim Jong Un was actually Easter weekend, back when Pompeo was CIA director. A senior administration official says the purpose of that meeting was to confirm with Kim that he was interested in having this meeting with President Trump and to really get the initial intelligence gathering on all this. So this was a follow-up meeting, and now the Secretary has returned. A senior administration official says that the United States and the North Korean regime have agreed to a one-day summit, but they could also extend that to a second day if the two leaders felt that was necessary. There are plenty of unknowns as to what exactly the two leaders are going to come up with on all of this, what's on the table, what North Korea is willing to surrender, what kind of inspections it would agree to if it is in fact going to give up its nuclear weapons, and what the United States and its allies are willing to give in return. So there's plenty of unknowns and plenty that these two leaders would have to work out as they move forward and head into this summit. Now, there are also some disagreements between the two countries ahead of this. During one of the lunch meetings that Pompeo had with senior North Korean officials, one of the North Korean officials said in his toast and noted that North Korea had finished its nuclear program, that it was making a decision to turn to its economy, and that the United States-led sanctions had nothing to do with that, that this is an entire initiative brought on by the North Korean government by itself. Of course, the U.S. government and the Trump administration maintained that it was that international pressure campaign to isolate North Korea diplomatically and economically that brought the North Koreans to the table to finally discuss their nuclear and ballistic missile programs. So the planning continues. A senior administration official stresses that there is going to be at least one more meeting between officials face-to-face with North Korea to try to work out the final details of all this. Back to you.
And Rich, that's the ultimate PR spin there. We were going to do this anyway. All right. Thank you for your fine reporting. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.